Welcome to KMD Info Session Online. I'm Masa Inakage. I'm the Dean of the school, and I have Professor Ueki with me, and also two students, Pandey and Mio. So I hope you had an opportunity to watch the KMD overview video, which I appear, to understand about KMD in general. So the session assumes that you know a little bit about KMD, but just in case, let me summarize super quick. So KMD is an institution of creativity and innovation. We focus on designing the near future society, which we call creative society. 2020 is a very special year. Everyone do not want to go back to the old normal, the old society, but we want to redesign the future society for the better of the planet. And therefore, this future thinking is part of KMD for a long time. KMD is a very diverse community. We have 60% of students represented internationally from very different parts of the globe. We also have different background students of coming from different disciplines. So different lenses and perspective and know-hows and skills. We also have a diverse age group represented from early 20s all the way up to 60s. And this kind of a very diverse community, at least in Japan, is very, very rare. So we think this is one of the most unique part of KMD. KMD is trying to be very global, and that's why we also have Global Innovation Design Program, which we call GID, and also SAMS program that focuses on international management with 33 international partners of elite business schools. We are very much aligned with the COVID-19 new normal, that we want to bring in technology as a driving force of the community bonding and activities. During this lockdown, KMD obviously went fully online, and we remain so at this point in time. But even after the pandemic is over, well, before this 2020 pandemic, we were already using this online connectivity from year 2008. And therefore, this kind of online community building and sharing and collaboration is part of KMD. But we also realized that there are certain things that we really need to do it offline or in the physical setups, such as building prototypes and feel with your entire body. That's only be possible to do it in physical settings. So there are things that needs to be done physically, but if there are things that can be done online, we opt to do this online, which we call online first. And this will be remaining after the pandemic is over within KMD. KMD's learning is through real project. And so this session today is about Play Project, which we will go into details, and also students are part of the Play Project members. So let me ask Professor Ueki and two students of how they think KMD as a unique organization or educational or research organization. So starting with Ueki Sensei.
Hi everyone, I'm Atsuki. So KMD is truly, this is a diverse world because there is a very, very different background students. And sometimes I met a difficulty because they have no common basement sometimes. So I'm from design background, but sometimes we have to talk with the politics background, and we have no basement at first. Then how to construct the basement with them and how to build up a new, very nice creative experience with them is a very wonderful experience in the KMD.
Okay, so diversity, you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Pandey, you're one of the many, many international students. Where are you connected right now from?
Yes, actually, currently I'm in Bali, and yeah, we do online learning from here, and it's quite convenient as well. And yeah, maybe quite same with Weki Sensei, that KMD environment is so diverse, and not only diverse from you came from all over the world, but also diverse from the skill set that you have, also diverse from the interest that you have. And when I came here, I learned a lot. Actually, yeah, I learned from not only from the faculty but also from my friend. Like they have different skill set that really makes me interested to learn more from them. And by that environment, we it's so good for collaborate and yeah, complete each other, something like that.
Okay, so Bali, Indonesia is one of my favorite destinations. I visited once, and it's very culturally rich, art driven island. Um, what is your background?
Oh, so my background is graphic designer. I study here in Indonesia.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Why did you choose KMD?
actually, yeah, I know KMD from my senpai
Senior,
in
senior
Indonesia.
student.
Yeah, I'm a senior student, and I told her that my condition that I'm interested in uh, something like that, and I tell her that I don't have a really specific skill set, but I can do a lot. Like I made video, I can do the branding, something related with visual communication design, and I also have interested in music and cultural studies. And she really recommend me to came to KMD because yeah, it's like a lab full of different background, and you can emphasize all your interests on it. And it's really true. Like when I came to KMD, I don't know anything about coding or technical skill background, but I can learn fast just by no just from my friends. Like they share everything that I need, and also can contribute to them uh, by sharing what I can do. And yeah, my interest is like flowering in music as well. So yeah, I think I already found the answer what she mentioned before.
Okay, thank you very much. So moving on to Mio, she is currently my PhD student, but she joined KMD as a master's student first. So she's been part of KMD community for quite some time. So she knows many things about KMD, both positive things, but also possibly negative. So Mio-san, what is your impression, and what do you think is the unique part of KMD?
Well, compared with other grad schools, our KMD is already open to society and also industry. So, and also maybe other countries. So while I was a master student, I went to Stanford to join the our collaboration program. That was awesome. And also from master and also during the PhD years, I could collaborate with a Swedish company. So I could go to the Sweden, also other countries, and also US for Stanford. So that was awesome. And also recently, I and Inakage Sensei collaborated with Japanese, how can I say? The company to redesign our classroom. So actually, now the classroom is open, but yeah, unfortunately, it's our now our online class. So yeah, and that was awesome. So I think the one of the best thing in KMD is open to society and industry and global.
Yeah, thank you, Mio-san. So my background is now converted to this classroom that you just mentioned. So we envision the classroom, a physical space, also impact the way we behave and the way we think and feel. So if we are in a traditional classroom setting, your brain says, "Oh, it's a classroom, so you are not supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this." But if you go into a room that doesn't look like a classroom, then the brain may think, oh, if it looks like a park, you're welcome to relax and be more creative in different ways. So so this new classroom just got finished, but unfortunately no one is using. So hopefully the pandemic is over soon and we can start using the park-like classroom again. So as a PhD student, what do you see difference between master student years and now PhD?
Well, for master's students, they have a lot of class, but for PhD students, we don't have so much. So, well, even we could attend a class though, but basically, we need to work like on my own. So was our own pace. But sometimes I can collaborate with other master students or PhD students, and also yeah, so that is a thing. And also sometimes me or other PhD students can take our leadership to our KMD events like KMD forum or yeah, some other things. So for PhD students, we can learn our like leadership during the experience in KMD, and also we can learn how to manage our project for our my thesis or yeah. So.
Okay, thank you very much. So I hope participants feel that KMD is a wonderful, diverse place. What is the student life? How busy are you, Pandey? You're in Bali, relaxing by the ocean and have fun? Or are you stuck in your room, spending days and nights and on your projects?
I think it's quite balanced here. It's quite the same when I'm in Japan before the Corona. Yeah, but the difference is maybe there's no my friends here to do the research together. But yeah, I know this new normal condition also makes us to do the creative thing. For example, like I cannot do the research physically, but I try to explore how the internet can help me maybe to use the technology, because the mindset is the same. Like if you want to do the research, yeah, the media, you have to also be creative with the media of the research. And yeah, before the Corona, actually, I spent most of the time to go to to campus. Like PR is my favorite spot. A lot of my friends there, and we every day we do like we try to play with new thing. Like one of my friend bring their exploration, and I ask him, and it's quite fun. Like I think it's like a playground as well. But yeah, now because it's Corona, we just move the playground to the digital platform. So yeah, I think it's balanced between learning and do fun things.
Rick Sensei, you experienced KMD for a long time, and now suddenly, March 2020, we decided to shut down the campus and move fully online. What do you see this online activity versus pre-COVID-19 physical space-based activity?
Yeah, I think it has, of course, merit and demerit. And merit is because that very, very nice experience in KMD is talk with many background, the professors. And through the online communication, the professors is much closer than before. And you can talk directly to your professor and the other professors. It's a very, very nice experience, and it's very rare experience in KMD. And yeah, but of course the merit is you cannot meet your friends directly. This is currently the big problem. So yeah, I hope it would be more improved.
Yeah, I think we're going to move into the play project, but for play project, before COVID-19, we used to meet maybe once or twice a month. Now we're meeting every week.
Yeah.
So it's very intense and close relationship through screen, but it still works. I think I know students better now than before COVID because I have more time with students. Because I don't have any commute time anymore. I used to have 3 hours commute time going and coming back. And this 3 hours can be allocated to students. And that's a great benefit for students. Yeah. So Mio-san, what is your student life?
For now, I'm so busy to write my thesis. And also, yeah, to write my thesis, there some kind of test. I could open my online workshops. That was so cool. And also, yeah, like in Pray, we have a weekly meeting. So I love to discuss our master students and professors. And also, yeah, actually, Pande plans are to organize our welcome party for new students for now. So yeah, so we are so busy, but actually I'm also commute for about 1 hour. So yeah, for now, yeah, instead of taking a train, I meditate sometimes.
Great. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's move on to the next topic, play project. So let me share the screen and to give you overview of what play project is about. And then I will pass on to Rick Sensei for a little bit of specific process. So play project, as the name says, we want to be very playful. Playfulness is very important for human civilization. That's how we invent things. That's how we get inspiration. That's how we acquire knowledge. And we recently came up with a approach or methodology called dream-driven design. To design your dream future, as it says. So imagine 2030, 10 years from now, or 2040, 20 years from now, what kind of society would you like to live in? Or what kind of city would you like to live in? Ideally, use your imagination and dream capability. We don't care whether it's going to happen, but unless you envision the future and start working towards that future, your future will never arrive. And so that's our belief. And because of that, we use lots of human skills called imagination and dreaming. Dreaming is very important from brain science point of view of how to come up with some novel idea. Many times people say, oh, go to the walk in the park and then you relax and then suddenly a great idea will come to you, or take a shower and a great idea will come to you. So this kind of a process is the brain is idle and relaxing, and it starts to randomly visit a past memory space and then connect the dots together inside your brain. And that's when the idea sparks. So imagination and dreaming is very important part of the play project process. So we challenge, what if kind of question. What if the plant can talk to you? What if we can communicate with plants? What would you like to do? So this kind of what if question is very powerful to imagine an alternative future. Another example, again, what if a public bench can talk to you? You can see Mio on the right. And this was a project with a Swedish company. And you can see this kind of what if challenge, which widens your scope of envisioning the future. Then we go to the next stage of telling the story of your idea. So your idea is not just one moment, but it has a context and has a main person of, and then there's a setting, there's a time of how to use the idea, and everything can be captured through stories. So for example, so this was a past project by master student, and she wanted to become a heroine as she is walking down the street of Tokyo. And what if all these elimination of trees in Tokyo will light up and cheer her up. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So that was the starting point of the project. And so we developed this idea into a high heel prototype that as she's wearing high heel and walk down the street and turn around, and this kind of rotation will trigger the lights to light up and cheer her up. So as I explained, this kind of project through storytelling. So this is another very recent project with a South Korean company called Iptila. It was initially envisioned as a physical pop-up store experience design. And then during the COVID, we realized that physical space retail will be very, very different after COVID-19. So rather than designing that physical reality, we wanted to take all these physical experience that we envisioned to fully online. So fully online through smartphone, as you can see. And then the final process is we want to be very playful and artful in expressing your idea to the audience. So here we can see digital fireworks called Fireworks Garden. So as you walk into this cubicle space and then blow onto this illumination, the seed of that plant or digital plant will be emitted, and each seed will actually become the fireworks. And you can interact with fireworks as kids are interacting. This is another project called Shouting to the Sea, which is a part of a project called Unexpected City, that we want to create a city experience that's not just a smart city, like a tech city, but we want to have more effective and playful city. So this is sort of the things that past projects that our student in play project have been conducting, and we exhibit our projects, and we also write papers, but we also work together with industry partners. So here, let's give the mic to Rick Sensei and pick up on this unexpected city. Rick Sensei, dozo.
Okay, first of all, please let me share my 1-minute video about project. So please watch this. Can you see the?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Yeah, this is what we exhibited at Public. And so I will talk about the background of this project now. So please look at this slide. Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Okay. So this project is just started from the dream of our student named Ellen. So she's get bored her commute street line. So when she walk on the street and get bored, just bored. So she wanted to change the experience for future, and she want to embed some tricks in the street. So something like this, the very, very strange vending machine in Japan is a hint. And she wanna put a buttons to buy or show some tricks or surprises. That is the start point. So this was our final products, but this is just final. And we made a lot of prototypes before that. The first prototype is just button and blow a wind to your face, or just show a bubbles, generate a bubbles in front of you and just trick you. and then improve that to the other opportunity, and then. So we made many prototypes to build up the real final prototype, and still the final exhibition is just a prototype of future, we think. And so the story is very interesting. So when you put a button, for example, the shout machine is that allows you to shout without shame, because the surrounding speakers will shout with you simultaneously. So you can shout without shame. And the mirrors is when you put a button and the blows will come and shake your hair, and you can see your another beauty in the mirror. So this is just a very silly kind of tricks, but it still can change the experience of the city. That's all.
Thank you very much. So you can see we are KMD itself, including Play, is a make culture that we want to come up with interesting idea, but translate your idea so that people can experience, and it requires iterations of prototyping. All right, so thank you very much, UX Sensei, for sharing, and then you were the mentor behind this unexpected city project, and thank you very much for that. So some of the ongoing projects, let me ask two students and share their view of Play project and what they're doing right now, starting with Pandey.
All right. So I think the uniqueness of Play is like Inakage Sensei and Ueki Sensei always came up with our interests, even whatever our idea and what are we gonna make, what problem are we gonna solve is. And in Play, the strong point is about the storytelling, which I really love it. Like I'm a graphic designer, but I also make music. So I think the connection of my skill set is about storytelling, and that's what makes me interest in it. And like I said before, whatever your interest is, you can use that as a tool to bring your idea. For example, one of my friend has a business background, so I remember that Ueki Sensei, when he tell his idea, Ueki Sensei say that you can approach by creating the business model for your idea. And me, I have a background in visual communication design, so I can storytell by creating a video or real prototype, something like that. So I think whatever your interest is, since the name itself is Play, so you can come up with the interest and just be playful and whatever, and yeah, you can shine by it.
Would you like to share the current project that you're doing?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Can I?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So can you see the screen?
Yes.
So my current project is I want to apply shadow as a playful interaction in remote communication environment. Why shadow? Because it's a playful media. It can trick human perception. So the merit of shadow is there's ambiguity, curiosity, and openness. Like for example, here you can with your hand you can make a dog shape, something like that. So that's the power of shadow that I want to enhance. And I have two scenarios from that background. The first one is I imagine we can communicate with other people just with our shadow. Like you can summon the people you know to your room, and you can dance with them and do something crazy ideas. You can play with them, something like that. And with this idea, since it's COVID-19 situation now, I cannot make a real prototype by that, but I try to make the experiment by using the Zoom and Snapchat filter. So I try to interact with my friend just from the shadow, and I found that I found the interesting insight by doing this. Like my friend and I love to play with the effect, something like that, and yeah, I feel that it's quite potential idea. And also I came up since play project is storytelling, so I came up with another scenario as well. The another scenario is, yeah, I use the shadow to do the musical interaction. So you can play drum and guitar and summon your friends to your room and play music together just by using shadow. And yeah, that's
Great, thank you, Pandey. So this
yeah.
kind of interaction between people during this lockdown, and also where social distancing is going to be part of our everyday life activity, that this human to human in physical space interaction will be replaced by shadow to shadow or human to shadow interaction. And I think it's a very creative way of representing something about a person. And if it's a shadow or silhouette, you can also hide some of the private information. And I think it's a very creative way of using shadows. Shadow is always has been a very interesting topic for creative types. Uh, if you look back history. So thank you, Pandey. So Mio-san is almost hopefully finishing her PhD track. And because of her master's experience and PhD, um, she's way ahead of the game, and she's coming up to the end almost. So Mio-san, can you share what you're doing within Play Project and what is your PhD research?
Well, as a master student, I worked with the Swedish company Ericsson and are imagine the what is the future of IoT, and we imagine the world not like a smart device, but something like a living things. So we are imagine that what if our IoT and IoT talk each other like animals or something. So after finishing my master, I'm really curious about how to come up our playful ideas for the future. So now I'm working for some making our design approach to envision the like playful and like KMD like projects. And yeah, and also for talking about the uniqueness of Play project, I think like design thinking, we care about what others do and what others want. So like we can say outside in, so we search insights with that approach. But like in Play or like the design approach I want to create, maybe we can say inside out. So we can start with my imagination, our imagination. So we can come up any ideas I want to create, we want to create. So that is super unique, and I want to care about that. And also that is so powerful to envision the like sustainable life, or like even like a good society, or yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this year 2020 is a special year that divides before Corona and after COVID, of the new normal or next normal, some people say. So if it's a normal period of time, normally the innovation is incremental. So we based on what we have today and then advance a little bit. But now we want to be radically different. And that requires not a real problem solving, but it's more imaginative, looking to the future. Um, UNESCO actually coined the term called futures literacy as one of the important skills of the future, which is to be able to imagine the future and act now towards the future of your desire. So this kind of imagination-based approach of designing the idealistic future is very important, rather than thinking about right now the current situation of problem solving, or looking at economic benefit or business driven society. Has been with us for a long time. And it is important that the economy, it needs to be very strong. But at the same time, if we bias too much towards economy, then we lose this balance of caring the nature and looking at other part of human civilization that's not part of business or economy. Money is important, but money is not the real drive force of your life. So I think we're at the turning point of designing something very different, and Mio-san's work hopefully can contribute to the future society. Thank you. All right, so I forgot one important thing to participants. I'm going to move into a Q&A session. If you have any questions to us, please type it in and it will appear on my screen, and I will read out and answer or ask Rick Sensei or two students to help me answer the question. So go ahead and type. I already have a few questions here. So let me read out the first question. What are some of the interesting reasons you've heard from your current or past students of going back to school and specifically choosing KMD after being in the workforce for some time? So KMD students both represent fresh out of undergraduate and just jump into our program, or some students opt to start working for a while and then come back to academia for different reasons. And I think this question is, what are some of the reasons that the people who are working right now to come back to grad school, especially to KMD? So some of the reasons I know is students graduate from higher education or some educational platform and then move into workforce. Then you will be very busy working on the company or organization, and maybe it is becomes a routine work. You might want to start thinking of how can I be more happier for my long life and just not doing the routine work. So maybe career change, or I might need a bit more different perspective of looking at the society and how I can contribute for a betterment of society. So there are reasons for career change and also capacity building to open up your field of vision and then move towards the future. There are other students who are interested in coming back to KMD, specifically to not only learn from KMD, but also to meet up with inspiring students and faculties. So undergraduate and graduate schools, higher education always has been a platform for knowledge and skill transfer, but also connection between friends, the same cohort, or your senpai, your senior student, or student below younger students. And this student bond is a very important part of your life. You can, in the future, 10 years from now, call up your friend and start working on interesting project. And the beauty of KMD, as I said at the very beginning, the student body is very diverse and very international. So it's not only from one country or region, but it's you can make friends across the world. We have students from lots of parts of Asia, like Pandey from Indonesia, but also from US, Northern America to Latin America, different parts of Europe, Middle East, Africa, and all these different nationalities and culture. You can access through your friends network. So Rick Sensei, do you know other reasons why students who used to work comes back?
Yeah, they get bored normally because the current company you can just do straightforward business, and you have rare opportunity to do some interdisciplinary project or multidisciplinary project. So if you want to career up, you have to experience something interdisciplinary because this is the era of innovation, and the innovation always come from the interdisciplinary area. So how to experience the interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary project is the very, very key keyword to find out next way. So that's why they select KMD. This is
Mm.
one very big chance to do something completely different from current position.
Yeah, very true, very true. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but Mio-san graduated from KMD and started working, and she said, "I want to come back." So, what is the reason for you to come back to KMD?
Well, maybe you can imagine the MBA students. They want to run because they need our power or to learn business or something or to go to the next stage. For my case, or maybe other KMD students, we want to learn and gather to live our own in a creative way. So I wanted to come back, and yeah, I love my decision.
Good. All right. So the second question is, in which kind of industry or career do play project students work after graduating from KMD? Oh, that's a very interesting question, not only for play, but KMD students altogether. So when you come to KMD, you already have certain types of this expertise. Even if you were just out of undergrad, you study some discipline. And then you at KMD, depending on which project you decide to be involved, that will stretch your capacity. So this becomes your second strength. So when you seek job after KMD, then you have the first strengths before KMD, and the second strengths of that you create during the KMD student life. And the combination will give you different opportunities. Some students will say, I will use my previous experience and trying to find a job, but this KMD experience will be added on value about myself. Some student wants to focus on what you're doing right now at KMD and continue that as much as possible. So for play project students, they want to continue to be playful or artful. So one of the graduated student, actually from an unexpected city as well. She is now part of Japanese cultural centers organization, designing art exhibits and creative acts. So she's very consistent in terms of what she wants to pursue. Let's see who else. There are some cases that you pick projects strategically so that you can create your career path. Some student will pick a policy project because they might want to become more public policymaker in the future. So there are cases. So for play project, I think there's typically want to be very creative and stay in some kind of organizations or projects that relates to creating the future and using storytelling and creative things. Wixen, do you want to add something?
Yeah, fortunately, there is a very, very lack of the person who can do something new in company. So this issue that they want to hire this kind of very, very adventurous students, they can try new things. So that is, they usually become a producer position in that kind of project.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Pandey, you're still a student. Do you have any dream future of what kind of things that you want to do after KMD?
Yeah, sure. So before I came to KMD, I'm a graphic designer and I mostly work in the social campaign things. I've worked for the government as well, and everything is related to social campaign. Even when I also design website and some kind of apps. And when I came to KMD, I found that I also have interest in music. Like it's since I was a kid and since I was in a school, and it sparks when I came to KMD because a lot of my friends inspires me. They're very serious in the music as well. They connected the design with it, and so yeah, I think after KMD and after the Play project, I want to continue with it. I want to explore. I want to work in the music industry and multimedia industry now because and currently I also create a studio with my friend that works for like creating the video mapping and creating installation for, and also like making a virtual concert, something like that. And I'm really glad of it because I found it when I came to KMD because I like my, can I say, I'm KMD give me the answer like you can do this in for your life for living, like you can continue to pursue your interests to make a living.
Right. Yeah. Good luck. All right. So the final question I have here is, given the global coronavirus pandemic, what is the KMD's educational contingency plan for the 2021 school year? That's a very difficult question. We don't know how the COVID-19 pandemic will unfold. There are some good news that I heard today that the vaccine is being developed and seems to be very effective. However, we don't know if there's going to be some negative consequence of the vaccine that needs to be seen, and it takes time to uncover that. I also know the human civilization has always been challenged by different kinds of viruses. So before this COVID-19, there was SARS or MERS, there were bird flu, and the famous 100 years back was the Spanish flu. And all of these disrupted the human civilization and the behavior, required behavior change. And once it's over, we forget things over time and then go back to the old normal and then get hit by the nature challenge. And then we have to isolate ourselves and we are repeating ourselves. So one thing I've decided as a dean is we will continue to have this online first. Whenever we can do everything online, we should continue to do so. And then look at opportunities of how we can use physical space and physical interaction more effectively. And that's why we gather in physical space. It's not only for prototyping, but finding friends and creating trusted relationship, serendipity and accidental encounter of people is very difficult to do it online at the moment. So some of the things that we have noticed require physical interaction in using physical space. So hopefully if the pandemic is becoming a bit better than the current situation, unfortunately Tokyo is picking up the number of infectants. So I don't know whether we can open up the campus right now, but in 2021, September onwards, I think it's going to be much better, according to many predictions. So let's hope for that. But at least we will continue with the online classes. We will repurpose the classroom for more human-to-human interaction. I hope that answers your question. And I think we finished our time schedule for today's info session. So thank you very much for joining. And also thank you for Wek Sensei and Pandey and Mio to join the session as well. So bye-bye. Stay safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You.